our weekly conversation with our Chiefs insider from ESPN. So that'll be coming up in just a little bit. NBA Street, there's a couple just classics that you can't really replicate if you try to redo them. It was the right timing of the soundtrack. I would argue SSX Tricky was another one of those. It was a snowboarding game. I don't care about snowboarding, but I loved the game, and it had a great soundtrack.
You liked playing it?
Yeah, SSX Tricky.
Is that like some of the games from that era? Are they worth money? I know the college football games.
I bet you NBA Street probably is.
SSX Tricky Xbox.
That one might be.
Came out in November of 01, and then they made a bunch of sequels.
I will say the 2003 Madden, I think, is my favorite video game soundtrack.
Was that Michael Vick?
That was with Andrew WK and Folk, I think, on it.
Okay.
It's like Andrew WK and Joel Madden, like good Charlotte stuff. It was all
that was when you played the training camp mode, and you did the training camp drills, and then the music it fit perfectly. You're doing the running back drill, trying to get your guys. Anyway, yeah. That was
classic
awesome.
Games that are arguably better than the ones now.
I didn't buy Madden this year. I didn't buy the college football game this year.
I don't even own a newer console.
Yeah, we've talked about that, and we did our NCAA tournament
I own the Switch too, but like my kids play it.
Yeah, you have the Switch too.
I just meant, I guess, like I don't know.
SSX Tricky is.
Someone says that's a classic. Yes, it is.
SSX Tricky on the PS2 is $39 right now.
$39.
That's not.
See, the issue I think I would have with going back and trying to play any of those would just be like, back then you didn't realize the graphics weren't that good. And so you thought it was great. Yeah. Now going back, you're like, oh, this is hard to even see what I'm doing. That's what I ran into when I've tried to go back and play some of the classic games.
Nostalgia.
I'm just like, I loved, as a kid, I loved playing Sim City. Like, not The Sims, but Sim City. I'm talking on the Super Nintendo. Love that game. I went back and played, I think some recent one came out with basically, what do they call that? I don't know what the word is, but basically they brought it back without even remastering it.
Yeah.
And I can't play it. I mean, it's
too much.
You can't see anything.
I will say, though, there is a part of me that if you said, all right, instead of whenever I'm doom scrolling a social media site or whatever on my phone, if I could just knock out 45 minutes of Roller Coaster Tycoon, I'm not so sure.
Cody,
I'm not so
that's
sure.
Another great example.
I wouldn't get down on it. I'm not sure if I had a phone app that just let me play Roller Coaster Tycoon.
That's another great example.
I wouldn't be interested.
And I don't think I could play. So backyard baseball and football, they're bringing back the series. I have the mobile version of it. They just brought it back. Backyard baseball. I have it on my iPad and stuff, and I thought I was so excited. I paid the $4.99. I'm like, whatever, and it's fine. But again, it leaves you something. Yeah. That one at least is a little more where it's so simple that the graphics aren't as problematic. But anyway, Nate Taylor from ESPN, our Chiefs insider, joining us. You had to play some of these games.
I love this. This timing is like fortuitous because I've basically been on my phone, driving over here and, talking to certain people, both personal and, within the league. And so I didn't know you guys were going down this memory.
We didn't either. We didn't either. We just got there.
Late. Yeah. So my kiddo, Hayden, who is 10, he's a fifth grader, and he's, he's very much into like building things, and Legos is his jam, right? So, as Holly will attest to, I've spent perhaps too much money on Lego sets. But his most recent one that we built over the weekend was the Lego new version of the Game Boy.
Okay.
And that opened up.
I've seen that. That thing looks cool.
It's really nice. I should have taken a photo. Or maybe I did. Maybe I took a photo when he built it. I don't know. But anyway, it's really nice. It looks so realistic to what it was like to hold it in your hand as a kid. And so, again, it's a great conversation starter between a father and a son, and me trying to explain to him what life was back in the day. And
God, you were king if you had a Game Boy.
Yeah,
those were awesome.
I had both the original and the color one.
The Game Boy Color, yeah.
With Pokemon Red or Pokemon Yellow at the time. Oh my God, guys. I mean, you want to talk about cherishing moments that I didn't realize I needed to cherish them even more. So now, because my son just loves holding this Lego Game Boy in his hand, he really wants to get the experience. And I kid you not, part of me this morning made several phone calls to several local establishments to be like, hey, y'all got that old Game Boy? Y'all got that Game Boy? Apparently there's a Game Boy Advance.
Yeah, that's what my nephew's got. They got a Game Boy DS or an Advance, one of those?
Yeah, there's a Game Boy Advance. I shouldn't be telling this because,
someone's going to go snag it.
Someone's going to go get it. within the next 2 hours. But like, I guess Vintage Stock on Shiny Mission Parkway has a Game Boy Advance, and so that apparently what they told me is you can play old school Game Boys, the Game Boy Colors, and whatever the
Perfect
Game Boy Advance games are. Guys, I've already. It's already a sunk cost, so we might as well go down the road fully. but yeah, like even places like Half Price Books have like
they do
Game Boy games, and I was just like, I want that one, this one, this one, this
you
one.
can find it on eBay and stuff too.
Yeah,
Man.
right.
Yeah.
So again, it's just a matter of like, well, I got to be in the car anyway. I'm running errands today because it's Tuesday. But yeah, what a time, man. I mean the call the switch, like the call the switch a classic is just like, man.
It is pretty amazing. This is also thinking of things that kind of repeat itself or become cool again. The Chiefs are back in the same spot, I feel like, with all the narratives that are out there. We were discussing,
Super Bowl favorites. Refs are against us.
Yeah, Super Bowl favorites. Mahomes is an MVP favorite. The rigging of the refs, all that. They're fully back now. I think we're actually at that point. Let's start with the offense, which we know gets Rashee Rice back on Sunday. We can get there.
Yep.
But what we're seeing from this offense over the last couple of weeks, what's the biggest change for you that has allowed them to now become a real problem for everybody again?
Yeah. I think in short, they actually have a luxury now. They're actually a unit that has luxuries, like multiple. So I know some people might be tuning in to see if I have like any information on Josh Simmons. Sorry, ladies and gentlemen, I've made the calls.
No one seems to have it.
I've made the calls. Yeah. I'm working on sort of trying to identify as much as we know with Adam Schefter, our top ESPN insider. I'm sorry, I don't have anything substantial to give you. With that being said, they have the luxury of Jalen Moore, who just wakes up Sunday and is like, "Oh, okay, I guess I'm starting today." Not the plan, but I'll start. I'll be good. The offense will stay exactly in rhythm. I don't know how many people thought about this, but I was driving home from Arrowhead late Sunday night, early Monday morning, and it dawned on me that like I know he played because I saw him in the locker room. I saw him in uniform. They didn't even need Tyquan Thornton.
Nope.
Think about that. Where they, 3 weeks ago.
He was the number one wide receiver for 3 weeks.
Needed Tyquan Thornton 3 weeks ago against the New York Giants, excuse me. So they have luxuries everywhere now where, if you're playing man coverage, the quarterback is masterful enough to check you into a man-beating play. And guess what? There's Hollywood Brown wide open in the end zone. All right, are they playing zone? Cool. I have a much better version of Travis Kelce right now than I had at really any point last regular season. So, okay, cool. I'll just throw it to him because they're in zone with, like, linebackers. I mean, obviously, like, I'm either throwing it to him or Juju Smith-Schuster off of RPO action. They are now running the ball under center.
How about that? Love it.
Love it. That's been the biggest change.
That's the biggest shock is that they actually, guys.
It's working, though.
Yes, this is kind of my point. Like, ladies and gentlemen, you have succeeded in your rallying cry. We've obviously asked Andy Reid about it. Andy Heck, the offensive line coach, Matt Nagy, who
might be the Titans head coach one day.
One game got some shine on him. One primetime game spotlight got some shine on him because now they have luxury, and now you can see, like, okay, when the coaching staff is actually motivated, is somewhat backed into a corner because you lost against the Jaguars, a game you shouldn't have lost, and you are actually learning your players and changing your scheme, ever so slightly to enhance the players that you have. Oh my God, they run under center, and it's like Isaiah Pacheco became a normal running back again. Asking him to show off that burst and that vision from shotgun. Okay, we tried it for like 4 weeks. Didn't work, but Kingsley Suamata'i is getting better. Josh Simmons has played excellent, for the first 5 weeks. You have Jalen Moore come in. Nothing misses a beat. They run the ball under center. They have so many luxuries now, and I haven't even gotten to Rashee Rice, which, ladies and gentlemen, you don't have to do this because I've already done it. watch the Vegas Raiders defense. Watch it.
Not good.
It's awful, okay? And that's even with them getting a coach fired yesterday.
I saw that. That was, yeah, I did see that.
Like, they are still not good. The Titans had a multitude of mistakes, but against an offense with multiple weapons where you really do have to account for Tyquan Thornton, which opens things up for Hollywood Brown. Or, hey, you have to account for Travis Kelce and, Xavier Worthy, which might open up things for Rashee Rice on Sunday. They don't have nearly enough capable players in the back end to compete with the Chiefs on Sunday.
Can I ask, I want to go back to Simmons just for a minute, and then I know we got other stuff to talk about the Chiefs.
Yeah.
One, I don't think it's unreasonable, the questions Andy's being asked, and he's treating them like they're unreasonable, which is he going to be available on Sundays? Essentially, the last two things he was – the first question was from Bahia, which was, when did he know? And then the following question was, is he going to be available? And he doesn't want to answer it. What?
Yeah.
So we don't know what's going on. Am I to assume that it can be personal health, personal mental health, personal otherwise? Is it just like it could be anything right now?
It might be all the above.
Family?
It might be all the above. And the thing that I can say that I think is a bit tricky, that maybe we didn't all kind of quite understand Sunday, because again, like, I was building a Lego set with my son on Sunday.
I know. I sent you a text and you said, yo, what happened?
And I'm like, wait, what? Like, I'm playing with the kids outside. Like, we hanging out with Noah, who's our 6-month-old. And so, I'm trying to, like, gather things and, like, get ready to go to the stadium myself. I don't think what we realize now, which I don't think I quite understood or realized Sunday, is all of this is, like, really unplanned. It's not coordinated well. I think the communication could be better on both parties.
Okay.
I guess. And I know what NBC reported during the game, which is like, hey, he flew back to California. Now his family is predominantly in the San Diego area. So that gives you an idea, ladies and gentlemen. But it could be all the above, Cody, which is tricky. And I did something that I was taught as a young reporter, and this can work for especially the young men who are recently married. If Rob's listening to this, Rob, how long Rob been married? Like a year?
Not even.
Oh my God!
It's been a year at this point.
Okay.
Yeah, it's been over a year.
All right, happy anniversary, Rob, and his lovely wife. But like, clip this for Rob. Okay, your lady said this, therefore it has informed my question, which is, you said this, now here's my question. Andy Reid yesterday was like, he filibustered for 4 minutes. He is an amazing filibuster coach.
Oh, he's good.
He's really good at it. He'll just go through the stat sheet. Yes, coach, I already know. I was there too. Thank you. But he says, hey, when it comes to Josh, I don't have anything for you. I'm not going to talk about it personal. And you're like, okay, all right. So now I got a few minutes to like, all right, coach, you said, this is me yesterday. Coach, you said it's personal. I'm not going to get into that.
I know.
But have you had any conversations about
what
it looks like with him returning to the team? Or is it so uncertain right now that you can't even give that update? He didn't answer the question.
No.
So that was our whole thing yesterday. A few people got upset with us. We're saying, I'm not saying it's any of our business to know exactly what is happening at this present moment.
But your coworker was like, yo, when is Rob coming to work?
But exactly.
Yes.
Or you say, hey, honestly, we don't know at this time, Nate. We don't know when he's coming back.
He's not willing to say that.
And he just finally said, I'm not talking about it. That's
Correct.
what we said, which sounded like something clearly is going on, and that was our whole thing. And we'll maybe know more tomorrow. I know Andy's got to speak again tomorrow.
It is tricky because I'm not trying to be like super duper invasive. Like,
correct.
I don't work for TMZ, ladies and gentlemen. I work for ESPN.
You're just trying to find out if Simmons is going to be available to play the game on Sunday.
Correct.
I don't think that's unreasonable.
Jalen Moore had a quote in the locker room Sunday that essentially alluded to the fact that he might play against the Raiders. So, and that's in my story that's on ESPN.com. It's just like, hey, I'm ready to, like, I know I got to get better, and I know I got to get ready for the next game, which, again, alludes to the fact that, hey, if you don't know if your teammate's coming back, or if this isn't like a one-time situation where it's like, hey, Chris Jones went to his aunt's funeral. It's really sad. It's really unfortunate. But, hey, the team knew here's the plan.
That's the other part. And what Andy Reid didn't say, my thoughts are with him and his family. He didn't say that. So it's just kind of bizarre.
And again, I know people have put this online, I was on Twitter a little bit ago, and I was like, yeah, it makes sense. I understand your desire to have some form of information, and we're trying, but
they're being really
but
tight
no
with
one's
it.
no one's really said much, and this goes to like multiple layers within like not only the team but just like the NFL as a whole. And again, if we know something, I would be more than happy to tell you. If it was family related, I would be more than happy to tell you. Like, I can't even get that sort of what's the word I'm looking for? I can't even get that necessarily confirmed, or it's something else. So it's
It's
difficult.
not even that. I'm just asking whether or not he's available. You got personal stuff.
Yeah,
you
when
don't
is
want
he
people
coming
in it.
back? And
That's
there's no
okay.
there's
Is
no
he
guarantee.
available to play sometime in the next month? Is he not available to play this Sunday? Like, that's all I'm asking. Yeah.
Now, I just want to remind people, like, it was a week ago, Monday night in Jacksonville, where he went through the entire pregame warmup and he didn't feel right. And I don't know if that was like, hey, you ate something, or because of the heat, because it was very hot that night. And like, hey, for whatever reason, like, you're just not feeling great. Okay, put him down as questionable for illness, even though the game hasn't even started. Played the game, played really, really well. I don't think he talked to many reporters because, again, you kind of know the situation, dude not feeling good. So I know I didn't talk to him after the game in Jacksonville, and then we have this situation, and again, I'm trying to be reasonable, trying to be respectful. Like, would I be surprised if he doesn't play on Sunday? Would I be surprised if he's not with the team all week? I mean, at this point, I guess no.
Yeah.
And again, this is me talking out loud, but you just hope everything's okay.
Yeah, for sure.
But it does make this perhaps a bit more mysterious, a bit more strange and odd. Unusual is a word I've been hearing a lot in talking to people in and around, the team in the league.
He's not going to be able to avoid it once if he misses again this week.
Yeah, we'll see what he says tomorrow. He being Andy Reid, obviously.
Right.
You'll hear that here on 96.5 The Fan. Nate Taylor from ESPN hanging out with us as he does each and every Tuesday. All right, defensively for this team, they hold the number one offense in football to 17 points. I know the first half in particular, they weren't getting any pressure on Goff, and you're like, oh boy, this is going to be a long night. This could be a long night. They're not getting anywhere near him. They were able, though, to bottle up Jahmyr Gibbs, and that was a huge key. Amon-Ra was shut down except for one drive. And then when it mattered most, late, Charles Omenihu, welcome to the 2025 season.
Yeah, he's been trending.
Last week he was better too.
Yes,
yeah.
he's been trending in the correct direction. And so you do hold out a little bit of faith that because again, Charles Omenihu has played his best football, and this isn't just like with the Chiefs. This is also the case with the 49ers, the team he was previously with before he joined the Chiefs. He kind of is a second half of the season player. Even when he's had the ability to play a full season, he's not started seasons off well. It's something I'm actually fascinated to talk to him about. Like, why do you play better in like November, December, January, whether you have an injury, a suspension, or not? So again, that's a positive sign. Now, this was a shock to me because, again, sometimes I try to watch the game. It's a little difficult for night games because, in the press box, you're just like, okay, I just need to watch the live 22. I'm not watching the player introductions for NBC. Obviously, with them partnering with Chris Collinsworth, they have the PFF rankings right there. And, I asked the question, as I do every halftime, hey, what is everybody thinking? Shout out to Mike Barnett, who says, look, the defensive line has to be better. Yes. Derek Nottie as the last ranking guy in the league is wild. And then my question was, hold up. Did they really show that during the player introductions?
119th out of 119.
It's a wrap, guys. It's a wrap.
They missed. They should have kept Pennell.
Yeah.
What's so weird is they saw two
and you
guys
have a
work
draft
out.
pick, which I know they kind of already have because of the Sky Moore trade, so you feel a little bit more flexible to do that. But you can have more picks. You could have kept Mike Pennell, who was, unless he was punching teammates that we didn't know about. Like, by the way, Mike Pennell, incredible guy. Derek Nottie, one of the nicest men you'll ever find. Love Derek Nottie. It's a wrap. And I know the Chiefs are trying to do the right thing of like balancing. This guy's a veteran. He knows the defense in and out, been in all the big game situations. Derek Nottie is a reason why the Chiefs have a dynasty, right? Because he has been helpful in postseason runs, particularly at stopping the run. But at his age, given the amount of injuries he's had, the fact that he is ranked 119th out of 119th, the Lions basically said, every run's going to be towards you and away from Chris Jones. And whether,
When they got into a passing situation, Chris Jones and Hugh and those guys got to do a little work.
Yes. And so it's time, because we're 6 games into the season, it's time for them to give Omar Norman-Lott the full go. Like, no more of this, like, half-measured, rotational, blah, blah, blah. Like, play the young guy. And if that means if you cut Derek Knighty's, I would argue if you cut Derek Knighty's snaps in half, you would actually get a better player than the guy that's playing the majority of the snaps, particularly early in the game, where he's ranked 119 out of 119, and he did not play well against the Lions. And so if you watch the game in the second half, guess who's not on the field? Obviously the game situation kind of changes because the offense did its part to give you a 10-point lead, and now the defensive line can be actual functional instead of what the Lions did, which is basically run the ball down their necks for the entirety of the opening drive, and should have scored a touchdown, if they just kept running the ball. Where Derek
they had to get cute.
Hey man, we on prime time. We gotta get these plays off.
When you I guess, and this goes back to the offensive end. Might be premature. I haven't even seen Rashee Rice play a single snap for the 2025 Chiefs.
Correct.
With Rice, they're the best offense in football, in my opinion. Without even seeing him play, I don't even need to see a snap to know that, because right now they're already one of the most efficient offenses in all of football.
Yes.
And they did that, and that's statistically, even without Worthy for half the time.
Correct.
Since Worthy's been back, they have been the best offense in football, and they don't even have their number one weapon. I don't know how I'm supposed to assume there's some universe in which they aren't the best offense.
And the quarterback is being protected.
I know, and he's playing like old. He's playing like Mahomes again. He's just looking loose and fun.
It might be a wrap, man. like he's getting time to survey the field, go to second and third reads, which he has told us multiple times. He might not have his best receiver. I think everybody in the organization is like, no, Rashee's the best receiver on the team, and that includes some pretty talented guys. Again, if Simmons comes back for Sunday's game, we'll see. If it's not and it's Jalen Moore, okay, then you go from Aiden Hutchinson to maybe getting Max Crosby for the majority of the snap. That'll be a nice little matchup. Outside of that matchup, they got all the advantages. So if he's scoring 4 touchdowns, again, a somewhat banged up Detroit Lions defense.
Defensive line wasn't banged up.
That is true.
Secondary was, but the defensive line was.
And the linebackers were getting worked.
That little move that Kelsey put and Mahomes with his eyes. That Kelsey throw is perfect.
Yes.
Underrated one of the game.
Yes.
Probably.
Yeah. So again, the Lions had their best 3 linebackers and their defensive line. So hey, they had a talented front 7 that you got to respect. Mahomes is playing just masterclass sort of football. And I've said this before, you go in cycles in your career where, hey, last time he was kind of in this particular circumstance was, hey, you kind of lost in an embarrassing fashion to the Cincinnati Bengals in the 2021 AFC Championship game. Your team no longer has Tyreek Hill. People are wondering, can you take it further? Can you continue to evolve? Not only did he evolve, he had the highest scoring offense and won the MVP. And then even when his ankle was ballooned like a freaking softball, still led them to a Super Bowl victory. Well, he hasn't had a down moment since then. They went to 3 straight Super Bowls. Now they got embarrassed in the Super Bowl. They had to revamp their entire offensive line, particularly on the left side. And your best receiver, because of his own mistakes, isn't going to be available for the first 6 weeks of the season. You need to evolve yet again. You need to continue to grow and progress. And I wrote this after training camp where it was clear to me that one of the biggest things he worked on was accuracy. And that has really shown up over these 6 weeks where he's thrown 1 interceptable pass. And unfortunately for the team, Devin Neal took it to the house, right? But that's the only time that he's thrown the ball and you've been like, ooh, right? Where we see quarterbacks. And again, these people are human, but we see talented quarterbacks throw balls like all the time.
Constantly, sure.
Yeah.